Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to talk the shirt dress now and later, simply because the shirt dress is such a great transitional garment. As we talk about things we can make now, and still wear for months, the shirt dress is among the best. So I'm going to show you where all this started for me. As I was doing transitional garments in general, I wanted to really present some great items that you guys could really grab hold of. So I had this beautiful fabric. It definitely started with the fabric for me. This is a black and ivory. It's a plaid, as you can see. It's from a mill in Italy called Liria, the Liria mill. And I want to start educating you on mills simply because it tells you so much about the quality of the fabric. This fabric is a linen and wool, virgin wool blend. Gosh, it's just beautiful. Just a beautiful, beautiful fabric. You can wash it in the washing machine, just not hot water, cold water, and then just maybe a tumbled cool dry or just lay it flat to dry. But it's got a beautiful selvage. It has such a beautiful hand. I know you can't feel it, but just imagine linen and virgin woolen together. And the wool is so soft and the linen just gives it a real crisp feel to it. It's just simply beautiful. The price, I think another reason I want to educate you about mills is simply so that you can see how our prices are just stellar. Again, this is Liria. The mill in Italy is Liria. It's L-Y-R-I-A, Liria. So you can look it up and kind of read about it and see how prestigious this mill is. This fabric is $16.99 a yard. It's almost a joke. And what we can get it for and what we're selling it for, because our goal is to really sell patterns, not fabric. So I wanted to just show a little bit about the process. It started with the fabric. Then what I did is I searched for black and ivory or black and white checked shirt dresses, because I knew shirt dress is what I wanted and the fabric would work well for that. And this first one, what I saw, I liked it, except I almost felt like it was just too much. Like the long sleeves, the long dress, it was almost just too much black and white. So then I saw this next one and I thought, oh, I like that. Sleeveless, it's just a little bit less, and yet I love the black and white. So I decided to combine those two, and that's where we are today. So I started with pattern 600 because pattern 600 is the classic blouse and all it needs is length. And so I started with pattern 600 classic blouse. This first photo you're going to see, and if you go back on those other photos, and a lot of photos out there, you'll see that the front band is on a bias, and that just kind of breaks up the plaids. You still match them, and I'm going to show you how to match here in a minute. But that bias front tab really just, I don't know, I love it. I just really love it. And so whenever you're doing bias on something like that, you'll probably need an extra yard. Like even for a sleeveless top, I use 2 yards. So bias does eat up a little bit of fabric. But the nice thing about it is you can see that when you're dealing with plaids, you just fold it. And your fold here is going to match the fold there. Your selvage is going to match. And I'm going to show you a picture of this bias. You can see there I'm folding it on the bias, and then you just lay the facing down. It has a front seam, you cut 2, so once you folded the bias, you go from there. I usually recommend you cut that bias first, simply because a lot of times when you're doing a collar, you can cut around the pieces that are left in a bias and utilize the rest of that bias. Even though the collar's not cut on a bias, what I'm saying is you've got those little pieces left and you can put the collar on there rather than putting the collar someplace else. So I find that I always add an extra yard for bias, and I always cut the bias first because then I can make other decisions from there. This particular fabric also, it had a great selvage. Great selvage. So what I did is, as I was turning the front facing around, I stuck that selvage in there. So I included the bias and the selvage. Okay, so this next picture shows just adding length. And you want to add length to the front, the back, and the front facing. And you can just see I added 6 inches. I did not want to dress because the fabric for me would not go summertime, and it's not until summertime when I would wear the shirt dress. But it depends on the climate you're living in. It'll take you a long way. You know, I wanted to do it with leggings. The next picture I'm going to show you is the side seam. When we talk about matching, we've got a bust dart in this pattern, and so do you match above the dart or below the dart? anytime you have a bust dart that's horizontal coming from the side seam, it's fairly high up in the side seam. So you want to match from the hem down. And this next photo is showing you my side seam. I figured if I took a photo of it, you could see it a lot better than if I said, see my side seam. But anyway, so you can see where it's matched all the way up until the dart. And then it's just that little bit that's underneath there where it's not matched. And that's underneath your arm, and just most people just aren't even going to see that. So when you go to lay it down on your fabric, you're going to lay the hem down together and then just cut up. And don't worry about where the dart is, don't worry about anything else, just lay the hem down, make sure those two side seams are at the same place, and then just cut up. Your fronts will match, they'll come across, and that's all the matching you'll have because the front facing is bias. So it's using plaids, and yet I want to take that fear of matching them away. All you're going to do is match that side seam. So then I wanted to show you kind of the progression of how you can wear it now, and you can see I've got it with the turtleneck that I did last week, because it's 20 degrees outside, and you know it's all about warmth and it's all about layers. And so I've got a tank top on underneath, and then the turtleneck, and then this on top, and then I'll put my coat. And that pretty much is nice and toasty as long as you got good shoes and you know everything else. So the first picture is showing you the look that I have on now. Then I want to take it away and say a couple weeks from now it's supposed to be 50 outside. We'll, you know, keep our fingers crossed. The groundhog did see a shadow, so, you know, who knows. And so what I did is I took away the turtleneck and just put a sleeveless shirt underneath. And then as we progress on a little bit, I took away everything underneath and I just put the shirt on by itself. And we know in the summer, even if we get into cool evenings, we could put a little cardigan over it, a little wrap. 196 would be great. 201, our new pattern, would be great. Those little wraps that can go over and really give that shirt dress a long life. It is year-round. It really, truly is year-round. Get a great fabric, and it's a lot of fun. With these three pieces, I counted. I was actually watching this amazing documentary, so I was a little bit fixated on the documentary, but it took me an hour and a half from start to finish. Again, you only have 4 pieces. You've got your front, your back, your front facing, and your collar. And I followed the directions, and by the time the documentary was over, kind of, sort of, I was rewinding part of the documentary because I was missing some parts while I was sewing that were really good, but it took me about an hour and a half. So our goal here is to educate you and to have happy sewing. Check out the mill, Lyria, L-Y-R-I-A. It's one of Italy's finest mills. This is where this particular fabric is from. Happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns.